they just say, oh, everybody's crooked, and then they just say that they cancel each other out, which is exactly what happened with Clinton and Trump.
I've got some thoughts on this. Like the main storyline is quite boring. It's like slightly more interesting than the usual thing, but like shitty sons and daughters of whoever have been given lucrative contracts forever. Joe Manchin's big daughter famously has some bullshit pharmaceutical job. Meghan McCain's on The View. Everyone, there is a universal jobs program for people like this. But the angle that I find interesting is like just the breathlessness. Brian Schatz, who's like the poster senator, sort of the senatorial equivalent of Ted Lieu, because he has a more upper brow, like, I guess we're in hell world now, sort of like generalized media dipshit pussy style of posting. So he's endeared himself to a lot of like crooked media type accolades. He had some big breathless post about how this is serious. This is 0 hour for democracy. And what the fuck are you doing? And it made me almost violate terms of service for multiple reasons. One of them being like, you're a fucking senator. What am I supposed to do? Mm-hmm. Should I reply to Trump? Like, what am I supposed to? It's your job, you fucking cunt. But anyway, it also like, it made me have a flashback of every time this has happened, of every time a senator or someone infinitely higher up on the totem pole than me has said, this is the biggest crisis ever. And then their next tweet is like, controversial opinion, Reese's peanut butter cups are trash. And what is the effect? What is the effect of constantly telling me that democracy is ending, that this is the most important election ever, just like the last one was, just like the one before that one, that we need to hold this guy accountable now? Not me, the senator, me, the congressman, me, whatever. My brain don't say it. You, the reader, you, the girl reading this. What is the effect of that? And then just life goes on. Because you have the same dreary depression you have from your alienated, shitty life going on as usual. This thing that Trump did that's supposedly unprecedented, which, by the way, you know what some of my earliest political memories are? They're of random Arab guys who the fucking army detained and tortured, who had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda, suing the government because they were citizens who were tortured for years on end and then told, oh, no, sorry, you can't even sue, it's national security. Because, like, if what Trump is doing these last 4 or 5 times that are supposedly democracy ending, if those are the moves of a tin pot dictator, which they are, what was that last thing? What was that last thing? Because I swear to God, you're fucking posting pictures of the guy who did that, giving Werther's Originals to Michelle Obama. So it all seems very fucking meaningless when you say that. But the effect it has on like the regular liberal who does buy into all that is just a continued psychosis. Their reality frays on the edges, but their lives are just as dull and shitty as always. It creates this sort of vocal minority in this country of people who feel like their reality is falling apart, but their lives are pretty much the same, which further alienates them from normal people, even though that's a very dispersed and undefinable term, who also feel insane and alienated because that's just their condition. Meanwhile, there will be 4 or 5 things like this that Trump does that are supposedly beyond the pale, more beyond the pale than the last thing he did beyond the pale, even though I said the exact same shit last time. And then within 2 weeks, it's moved on. You're correct. You're trying to give him epic Pinocchios because he said he fucked the girl in the song Centerfold. Nothing ever gets better. It only gets worse, but it stays the same somehow.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
you'll just go more insane forever. Awesome. We love it.
I mean, yeah, again, I don't know what more to say about the Ukraine story other than, like I said, you're going to be cajoled into, you're going to be beaten over the head into like, yeah, that this is the most important thing ever until it's not. But like all the people who are telling you it's the worst, most horrible, breach of our democratic norms and government of all time are still not going to impeach him. They're going to say stuff like, we're very strongly considering, our options regarding his, truthfulness, blah, blah, blah. But they're not going to impeach him. They're going to try to elect Joe Biden or Elizabeth Warren president. And that's going to be it.
But the function of this is like, it's the thing that we used to make fun of like Bush supporters for in the mid 2000s. Oh, you like being afraid all the time. That's everybody now. That just became, if I had to pick like a single, like the most underrated effect of Bush politics, it was that everyone adopted it. That you should just make your voters in constant fucking terror all the time. There's so much to be afraid of just in your life, in the world, even as an American. But the things that make you precarious and you should be afraid of aren't the things that they want you to be afraid of. But I mean, like, we vetoed talking about it just because it's so boring. And I personally feel like she gets a lot of play out of just like left liberals sort of talking about her. But that Barry Weiss book is just a perfect example of how widespread this is. That just everyone is a potential enemy. If you're an American Jew, just anyone is a Nazi. Be they like Women's March people are out to kill you. Everyone is out to destroy your perfect democracy. The things that don't actually affect your life are existential threats to you. You should be in pure fucking terror all the time, and we're the only ones who can fix this. We're all just different shades of the most diehard Bush supporters in 2004 now, and it's very depressing.
Well, maybe